It is perhaps his most controversial and to some most irritating claim. The Chancellor insists, though, it is more than just a soundbite to say we're all in it together, which is why, on a visit to this high-tech manufacturing centre in Coventry, he told me this.
I believe Britain can afford an above-inflation increase in the minimum wage, so we restore its real value for people, and we make sure we have a recovery for all, and that work always pays.
What sort of figure are we talking about?
The exact figure has to be set by the Low Pay Commission, which talks to business, talks to other bodies in our economy. But if, for example, the minimum wage had kept pace with inflation, it would be £7 by 2015-16.
Nearly 1.5 million jobs, most in retail and catering, pay the minimum which the law allows. The people who get that wage have noticed its buying power falling in recent years.
Everything's gone up. The prices in the shops have gone up a lot more than the minimum wage has gone up.
And has that forced you to make difficult choices?
Well, yes. Sometimes, you can't afford quite as much.
The value of the minimum wage after inflation's taken into account shows the change since the economic crisis. After years of increases, look how it dropped in recent years. It now stands at £6.31 per hour. The Chancellor can't set the rate, but he's suggesting it would need to increase to £7 to restore its original value. That may worry small employers, like the man who's a partner in this shop.
I think it's probably at the right level at the moment. I wouldn't like to see it increase above inflation.
Because?
Because, well, I'm not sure exactly whether it benefits for low paid. I think the taxation system needs looking at.
Not many years ago, the Tories would have agreed. They opposed the creation of the minimum wage as a destroyer of jobs. People may say you're presenting yourself as the friend of the working poor, and yet you've just told us that you'll make £12 billion more in benefit cuts, much of which goes to people in work.
The working poor are the people who suffer most when the public finances get out of control, when the economy collapses, when the banking system isn't properly regulated. Our government, the government I'm part of, has got on top of these problems, and the whole country benefits, and I want to make sure the working poor benefit as part of it. I want to make sure we are all in this together.
There will be people around the country who will either laugh at the phrase or scream at the television or the radio to say it simply isn't true.
The whole country was afflicted by a great recession that made this whole country poorer, and everything I have done has been to try and fix that problem. The job isn't done. I know it's been very difficult for people, but the fruits of it are that we are creating economic security and peace of mind for the people of this country, and the prospect that the lives for our children and our grandchildren will be better than the lives that we have today.
Just down the road, Labour-run Coventry Council has decided to pay its workers the so-called living wage, a higher rate than the minimum. The party is scathing about today's announcement.
He's all over the place on this. Yesterday we put forward a motion in the House of Commons to see the value of the national minimum wage restored and for better enforcement to take place, which he voted and the government voted against. Today they are saying that they agree with us. This is a government that doesn't know where it's going on this very important issue.
Today's announcement reveals the political jostling within the coalition cabinet. It is the Lib Dem business secretary who makes the final decision. His allies think the Tories are trying to steal their good news. It is a sign of changing political times, a sign of the importance of the living standards debate, that a Chancellor from the Conservative Party, which opposed the creation of the minimum wage, is now fighting for some of the credit for the fact that it may soon be rising again in real terms. Nick Robinson, BBC News, Coventry.